Hello and welcome to Sports by Compian. My name, of course, is your host, Stephen Compian, and I am joined here by my co-host, the man with some of the answers and the perfect mustache, Corey Compian. Once again, here in the house. How are you, sir?
Doing fantastic. Just, coming up with some of the answers some of the time, but
Yeah.
mostly none of the answers none of the time.
Yeah.
Does that
Love
make
that for
sense?
that's dope. That's dope. We are here with a special episode of Sports Studs, Corey. These are people who excel at their game, at their sport, even. And to kick that off for us, I mean, actually, it's not something we're kicking off because it's episode 10. And we're here with Clay Matthews closing out episode 10 for us, Corey. Very, very exciting times.
Mr. Head and Shoulders
Um,
himself.
Mr. Head and Shoulders himself, known for his run with Aaron Rodgers when they went on to win that Super Bowl. You know, did he was he running around with the belt or was that a Rodgers thing? No, it was a Rodgers thing.
That was Rogers' thing.
It was
He was
definitely a
just on
Rodgers
the
thing.
team at the time.
He was on the team at the time, had himself 81 sacks or so with the Packers. So, lots of Packers fans I'm sure have plenty of fond memories. Clay Matthews, a third or fourth generation NFL player, second generation, something like along these lines. His uncle definitely played for the Browns back in the day, also on defense. So this is apparently just a family of people who like to tackle people. Core.
They're just really into the running full speed into other humans.
Yeah, yeah, indeed they are. Played like we said on the edge for the Green Bay Packers for many years. They eventually transitioned him into the middle to play middle linebacker for them. Still was productive with sacks most of his career, even if it was coming on blitzes from the middle there. Where did he go to college again, Corey? Mexico?
I'm
Oh,
pretty sure it was
UCLA,
Africa.
USC. That's so perfect for a guy like him to come from USC, It's just, that's so perfect. He's out there with his long hair, you know, he's hitting up the honeys, he's hanging out on the beach, and okay, yeah, let me go kick some ass in the
Let me just
NFL
do some
now.
football stuff at the same
Let me
time.
just do some football stuff at the same time. Let's see his college stats. What did you do while you were there? Oh, wow, look at this. Not very many sacks at all, actually. So that's interesting. I wonder if he was playing middle linebacker mostly when he was at USC, and the
Or
Packers are like,
they just weren't sending him on blitzes. Like, if
that's what
you're a
I'm saying.
linebacker and you're not in a blitzing defense, you're kind of just going to hang out and do your assignment.
Well, see, he was a linebacker, but really he's an outside linebacker, which means you're rushing the passer in a lot of defenses, and especially in the 3-4, which I guess
Hmm.
that's what the Packers were running. See, Corey, we're just putting this together
Put
on
it
the
all
fly.
together, man. Put together
We're
this guy's
so
whole
smart.
history.
So 2009 draft, first round. So that's crazy. I guess the Packers just knew from looking at the film that they were going to be able to get this guy to rush the passer correctly. That's pretty impressive, don't you think? Only
Yeah.
97 tackles overall. Like that's wild to me. He had a good senior year, I guess. 57 tackles, 9 of them are for losses, 4.5 sacks is impressive, I guess. From did he play fucking middle linebacker? What the fuck was going on
How
here?
many games did he
How
play
did
in
the
his rookie
Packers
year?
know this guy was going to be a stud? This makes no sense.
But he he only played one game his rookie year,
This
or his
is
freshman year, I
ridiculous.
should say.
Yeah. But still, what is happening here? Tell me the answers. Did he play middle linebacker? This is the only thing that would make sense.
I think they
Because
just
they
have
had,
really short
because
seasons.
notably, AJ Hawk was playing middle linebacker for the Packers at the time, so they didn't need a middle linebacker. They needed an outside linebacker. So yeah, they probably just drafted him as a middle linebacker and did what you do in Madden, where you just switch him out to either one of the other two sides, and he'll probably be even better.
But I think he just don't they have like really short seasons or like less games overall?
Yeah, for sure, but still, like that's
That's
pretty
low
crazy.
production for college.
That's low production anywhere. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, especially like it's just anyway. Whatever. We're moving on because they did put him on the outside eventually. And he did go inside. Yes, he was inside linebacker for like his very last year with LA. Doesn't make any sense.
He got
He did
defensive rookie of
eventually.
the year. Good for him.
He did get defensive rookie of the year. Or did he finish 3? What does this mean by 3? We're over here figuring out Pro Football Focus
He
references
was
website as we go.
third in voting, maybe.
Let's see. NFL defensive.
Yeah, he was
Yeah, he was third.
third in votes.
All right, so way to false alarm, Corey. But he did get an All Pro defense. Never mind, it's the same title. But he did get to the Pro Bowl. Looks like 6 times. Pretty cool with his sweet ass heritage showing up for the Pro Bowl, give him credibility. Overall, ended up with 17 forced fumbles, 81 sacks, including 8 his final year with the LA Rams. Kind of crazy he didn't get another chance in 2020. I remember the Bucs were looking at him, and I was like, yes, please do it. Why not? He got 8 sacks and seems to be back. But I guess no one ended up taking a chance on him, and that was it. He kind of wandered off into the sunset, which is kind of sad for
Also,
a pretty good player.
COVID made shit weird.
COVID made shit weird. He had 4 seasons of double-digit sacks. But yeah, started to fall off after the 2014 season where he had 11. But no one can ever take away that he was a Super Bowl champion and absolutely beloved in Green Bay. He could go up there and get a free beer anytime, Corey. Pretty cool stuff.
Do you think it hurt his thing? Like, if he had retired a year earlier in Green Bay, do you think that would have been better for his overall career or worse? I mean,
No.
he came back and got 8 sacks. That's pretty good.
Pretty good. He got a bag. I'm sure it wasn't all bad. I'm sure
Yeah,
he still
it is
wanted.
weird that Los Angeles took him for 1 year. Was it like?
Well,
let's
sometimes
try
you
him
bring
out?
in. Yeah, you bring in a veteran on 1-year deals. That's pretty standard.
Yeah, I guess.
But either way, pretty productive career overall. Obviously, falls about 7.5 short of the 100 sacks. But nonetheless, super productive career, super dope. Had himself 388 solo, 83 solo tackles too. Played in
Hopefully he has
156
a kid,
games.
so we get yet another generation of Matthews.
Yes, bring yet more Matthews. I'm sure there's some young cousin or some young, maybe even another younger brother who's coming. You know,
It'd have to be a
Like
really
through
young
there.
brother if he's already out of the league. It'd be like a 20-year gap.
yeah, we should look more into the Matthews family and figure out how much more football
'Cause
talent they have to offer us.
He's 38. So
yeah, he's gonna be a while before he produces any babies.
well, no, he'd probably have babies now.
No, I'm sorry. A while before he produces, an NFL player.
Yeah, NFL level guy.
Do you think we might be old by then, Corey?
Steven, I don't think we'll be alive by then. I think we're gonna get struck by a
Jesus.
meteor. But just me and you. Everyone else will be fine.
Everyone else will be fine. We're the
We'll
only ones
just,
who will
we'll
be
just be
casualties of
standing in
this
a
meteor?
field, just frolicking along, and a meteor's gonna take us both out.
That's cray, yo.
You know, that's how it's going down, Steve.
Yo, let's compare him to Ray Lewis. Oh, we can't. We gotta put an international player. Here we go, Corey. Let's see how he stacks up against him. What's gonna happen? What will it look like? Oh, it's not good, Corey. Although he did have more sacks than Ray. Take that, Ray, you loser.
Wasn't Ray a middle though?
Corey, what are you doing throwing out these things? We're trying to help our boy Clay. All right, let's give him a more fair comparison. That's
The only time they played, Clay Matthews won though.
Oh, he's got 2 on him.
He's got the
2
win.
on him. Who's another outside linebacker that was relevant? Von Miller. Let's see how he looks against Von Miller.
Or either of the Watt brothers.
I don't know if that's going to go well for him either. All right, so he's got more interceptions than Miller by 6 for 4 yards and 2 touchdowns out of those. Everywhere else, Von's got to be pretty bad.
Vaughn has 2 championships, huh? And 8 All-Pros and a Super Bowl MVP. All right then.
All right, well, hold on. We gotta find someone more comparable to Mr. Matthews here, Corey. Someone who was good, but not crazy. How about Simeon Rice? Let's just try Rice. Let's see what comes up. Here we go. A little bit of a shorter career. Okay. Yeah, this looks a little more favorable. No, it's just the interceptions he hasn't beat again. Damn.
Stephen Rice is better than Clay Matthews, who doesn't even have a fucking pitcher.
Well, Stephen Rice is a Buccaneers legend, so he should have a pitcher. So it's very offensive. Very offensive. He did get more Pro Bowls than him, though. Ha! Although Stephen has more All Pros. Anyway, Matthews may have had a shorter career and maybe was a little bit positionless towards the end there because he could kind of just probably play pretty good at all the linebacker situations. But damn, his hair was dope and stayed dope most of the time he was in the NFL. Cool personality. Really like him. We're happy to have covered him on Sports by Compian. NFL studs. Studs, Corey.
Just stud muffin out here.
That's right. That's right.
I did
Speaking of stud muffins, a lot has happened with our beloved league of the NFL since last me and you have checked in with each other on this podcast to tell our people about it. Where else are they going to go if they don't get NFL news from us? Nobody else covers it.
Dude, we're the only ones. It's going to be like whenever, the internet crashes and then the civilization is discovering the internet and the archive of videos, the only knowledge they'll have about the NFL is going to be this podcast because every other podcast and all other information gets wiped. So people generations from now trying to learn about our sport will refer to this podcast.
Of course, our vague information will be more than enough for them. Speaking of vague information, the way we will tell you about all this stuff is Fun Shotgun Style. So, Deebo Samuels with his questionable belly. There's only one picture of it. I'm sure the guy's in great shape. Either way, he's on the move, headed over to the Commanders. Jaden Daniels gets another weapon. That offense is starting to look a little scary. They are a little older, but that didn't stop them last year.
Bring in Deebo. Get more old washed dudes in there and just
he's not washed.
But show they're not washed. That's what everyone said about all the other old dudes they had.
That's
just
true.
Get yet more dudes in there to prove that they're not washed. Just get that young Jaden Daniels energy.
I love it, man. I think it's going to work really well for Jaden Daniels, to have a nice underneath route he could throw. Hopefully, Samuel will be like, you know what, dude, put me at running back sometimes. I'm fine with that. And they can come up with some cool packages there. So, yeah, I think it'll be a really good addition for them. The Commanders reloading for another playoff run, Corey. What will we see out of year 2, Daniels? Will the sophomore slump get him? We'll find out. They're doing the best they can to help him. Moving on.
Scary division all of a sudden. Why did we have to do this? Why does it have to be the Eagles and the Commanders? Like, why can't you guys just act like the fucking Giants? Come on now.
Agreed. It's very savage. They need to calm down over there. The NFC East is just out of control. Just play fair for the rest of us. God.
Yeah.
Or get an owner like Jerry Jones. Here's an idea. Why doesn't Jerry Jones control like one of the other teams instead of the Cowboys?
Dude, let's ship him off to New Orleans. Let him buy New
Orleans. Yeah.
Send him to New Orleans, and we'll get anybody.
We'll take on some of their dead cap. That seems fair.
We'll take some dead cap. They take Jerry Jones, and we'll have literally anybody. We'll walk out onto the street and we'll point at a random stranger and be like, "You want to fucking be an owner of a team?"
But
just don't touch anything.
Just can't do anything. Don't
let
talk.
The people that you pay millions of dollars to like make decisions. Let those guys make the decisions. Yeah, don't you make the decisions. Random person.
Absolutely. And we'll send Stephen Jones over to the Eagles just to learn. Not necessarily as an owner. Just go be over there. Hang out with Howie Roseman for a while. See if you can learn about real football. Anyway, I don't even know if that's the Eagles GM. I know it's Howie something, but maybe it's not Roseman. I think it is. But he's drafted a hell of a lot of people over there for the Eagles. And he signed what many people maybe saw as a washed running back, Corey. And that brings us to the bag session. Saquon Barkley with an historic deal is going to be the first NFL running back in history to get $27 million a year. Huge signing for him. Huge signing for the running backs. Between him and Derrick Henry, they sort of broke the narrative that running backs on their second deals or whatever aren't worth it. These, in fact, are their third deals, right? Maybe.
I think so. I think they've both been in the league like 8 years.
Yeah. So now they are both doing well on these third deals. Rightfully so that Barkley is making the most as a running back as a guy who literally jumped over somebody backwards. First time that had ever been
carried
done.
A team to the Super Bowl. You carry a team to the Super Bowl and be dominant and be something that people have to plan around. Then, you kind of – you're 50% of the offense. They got to pay you accordingly.
Agreed. I love it. Love it for running backs everywhere. Love it for Barkley. One of my favorite running backs for sure. So, this is really cool. This is a good deal for him.
The only one of the only fun players on the Eagles.
And speaking of Jerry Jones, he did bust out the cashback, Corey. We're not going to go ahead and disgrace this gentleman by trying to pronounce his last name. I believe his first name is Ozia. The D tackle for the Cowboys has made himself a nice bag of change with them. I want to say 70, 60 million, somewhere around that range. About 40 of it guaranteed. Good times for him and his family, generational wealth. Holding down the middle of that defense. We love to see it. We love to see it, Corey.
He actually gets sacks too. The dude's pretty good.
And nose tackles who hold down your defense for you and stop the run and can get pressure is a commodity in this league. And that's why our man got a bag. Good for him.
I think it's Odigizua.
Maybe. That sounds feasible. Did the Cowboys, I believe the Cowboys also franchise tag Lawrence, which I'm not sure if he's happy about or not happy about, but he did have the best year, right? He kind of like,
he was hurt. He hurt his foot.
So I would say he's probably not super bad about this. I mean, he is getting
an old injury,
but he's also like getting older, so I'm sure he's looking for more of that guaranteed money in one of his last contracts. So it's not great for him, but also he had a tough year. So
he also strikes me as one of those dudes that might want to just camp the Cowboys and retire. Like, I don't know if he really wants to go far flung.
True. That's a good point. He gets to be on the opposite side of how did this Cowboys defense not be like dominant with freaking Marco Parsons on one side, Lawrence on the other? Well, you said he was injured.
Well, they're both hurt, dude. Parsons was also hurt a lot of the time. Diggs was hurt a lot of the time. Bland was hurt a lot of the time. Like, the Cowboys defense had a lot of injuries. They kind of had one little stint towards like middle endish of the season where they started getting interest in football again because, everybody came back.
And Dak was injured. That really brings down the whole team. Everyone's just like, what are we even doing? The guy we're paying all the money to is injured.
Lamb was playing through a hurt shoulder since like early in the season. There was just a lot of hurt players and a lot of dudes that were just kind of like, I don't know who the fuck you are, but try to not get burned, bro. There was a lot of tough games happening out there. And once people started coming back, I remember that being a narrative where they're like, can we really judge this defensive coordinator? Like, he didn't have all the pieces, So when you're playing, you're like trying to piece it together. Of course, your defense is going to look bad because you got like second, third string dudes out there.
Yeah, that also happened to the Bucs. It's hard to find good depth, apparently.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of CeeDee Lamb, he reconstructed his deal to free up some of his cap space, which I'm sure helped in the deal that Jerry Jones just gave Uzi, whatever his name is. Odigizua, absolute stud. Anyway, CeeDee Lamb taking that, but he also gets on the cash train, Corey, because a lot of those reconstructions are basically getting more money up front.
Here's the money now, and then it doesn't count as cap.
Yeah, I don't know how any of that works, dude. But if we could figure it out, maybe they could just send us $1 million each. For safekeeping.
For safekeeping. I'll keep it safe. I definitely won't spend it on treats for Badger. I promise.
No. But Badger needs some treats. So I feel like they'd be okay with you spending some money on Badger.
Some of the money goes to Badger. Yeah. I agree.
I think it's reasonable.
He needs some of it, dude. He needs some of it. He's not a big dog. So he just needs some of it.
He doesn't need like
He's
lot
not greedy.
Of it. No. But he does need some of it.
Oh, of course.
Speaking of the Jets, well, we're not speaking of the Jets, but I want to speak about the Jets.
Jets, 12-pound dogs. They're the same thing, really, right?
They're both close to New York. It all makes sense.
Exactly.
Anyway, the Jets are cleaning house from not only Rodgers, but all the people that he brought in with him. They're like, all right, listen, all you weirdos gotta go. Devontae Adams is like, I'm actually really good. Adams is like, I'm actually a really good receiver. They're like, get out of here. You talk to Rodgers. You're his guy. We need you to get out of here.
We gave you weird contracts because of him. Everybody out.
So him, Lazard, that's pretty much it, actually. But that's all really Aaron brought with him. Both of them are out now. There's a talk that, Lazard isn't quite out yet. He's like looking for a trade partner for them. Might get released and brought back on a cheaper contract type of thing. But Adams is in fact out. People calling him washed, which is hilarious. Did you not see the film on this guy last year? Over 1,000 yards. Some of the catches he had when he was still with the Raiders, I remember he caught one on the sideline. It was just like, damn, Adam still got it.
And that's whenever he was like spending half the season being a blocker. They're like, yeah, no, you just block. We're not going to throw you the ball. And he just like, I don't know why, but whatever, as long as we're winning.
It was a really weird season with the Raiders, and then he gets traded to the Jets. Takes a minute to get his sea legs. Still came out with decent numbers. Still starting to look really good with Rodgers towards the end of the season. So I think there's still lots of football left on that guy. I guess we'll see where Rodgers ends up. Might be an indicator of where Adams is going to go next. They should just stick together.
Funny. He's just rolling around with his posse. He's like, me and my boys are out of here.
We're like, I'm leaving. He's like, I'm leaving. Who's with me? Adams is like, I'm with you.
I'm with you. Fuck this place, dude.
I might stay. This whole fall that you have the league is starting to get a little crazy. All I told you is I didn't want to get vaccinated. I didn't want to come into the Colt. I didn't know I was joining the Colt with that. No,
like,
it's all really
Cobb had to have retired by now, right?
I think Cobb retired. I think that was like he was too old for them to continue to drag around. He did
like a season, and they're like, no, buddy, come on. Bring your other friends, but not this one. This one smells bad.
Poor Cobb. Another very good player.
Yeah, but he's a millionaire. We could bully him a little bit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's totally allowed. Plus, like, he's one of those receivers that was really good. Probably not a Hall of Famer. Don't be mad at me, Packers fans, or at me. Whatever, dude. Use the attention. Hot take.
It's funny that we're on
Randall Cobb's probably not a Hall of Famer.
We're on the Clay Matthews episode just roasting Cobb.
And the Clay Matthews episode, like, it was good, but it's also like, yeah, this guy was damn good. I don't know if he's Hall of Fame worthy. I think he should get in just on his hair alone, dude. That hair is dope.
Hair carries him.
4 seasons, double-digit sacks. Do we already mention the hair?
I don't think so. You should talk about it now.
Yeah, the hair, dude. The hair looked dope. Anyway, so yeah, that's our situation. A quick little update of NFL action. Corey.
T. Higgins, franchise tagged as well, right?
Yeah, he's not happy about it, probably.
No, that dude, I think it might be the second year in a row he got franchise tagged.
Yeah, he's probably not happy.
They might just be keeping him in weird purgatory where they're just like, we're just going to be weird and stay here forever and never have a good defense. They
gotta go win a Super Bowl. It's the only thing that'll make him feel better.
Yeah.
Also, in the combine that just took place, basically the two main prospects, Mr. Sanders and Mr. Ward, were like, nah, we ain't throwing the ball. The combine's becoming more and more irrelevant. People are just like, no, dude, I'm going to look better in my own pro day, my own college with my own shit and throwing to my own receivers than I am going to be at this random NFL combine. So, like, I know I'm good enough that I don't have to do this. So the top guys aren't doing it. But the people like, I don't know if I'm going to try to pronounce his last name, but the Texas quarterback and Jackson Dart out of Ole Miss both came out looking good because they were both like, yeah, we got shit to prove. We'll throw. So they looked good. Even Jalen Melrose looked pretty good apparently, and had some good interviews. Let NFL teams know that he wasn't afraid to work on himself and get better, which I kind of respect. I think it's pretty cool. Also, Jordan Jenkins was the top running back prospect out of Boise State. Was like, nah, dude, I don't want to run the 40.
Jennings.
Juwan Jenkins, I don't know, but I believe the first name.
Blue jersey guy.
Yeah, sweet.
I think it's Juwan Jennings.
No, I feel like that's a wide receiver in the NFL. Yeah, I think that's like the San Francisco 49ers.
You're right. That is,
yeah. San Francisco receiver. Like we said, vague details here on Sports Icon. But anyway, he was like, I'm not running the 40, which is whatever. It just kind of makes it kind of more irrelevant, I guess. Oh, dude, but there's this Egyptian defensive end out of Boise State as well, who has had over 20 sacks the past 2 years, who might be the first player ever out of Egypt to get drafted.
Good for him.
Yeah, the Bucs should probably even take a chance on it. Maybe it's in their day 3, day 2. I'll be here for it. Yeah, cool for him. Egypt's a crazy country from what I've heard, Corey. So they could use a cool win.
I've heard from Best Air Food Review Show, it's a place you're allowed to miss on your world travels.
So I've heard. But sorry, Egypt. Maybe clean up your act a little bit.
Fuck you, Egypt.
but also maybe your boy will get drafted and I'll put you guys on the map a little bit more. It's only good stuff for you. It's cool to see some of these other country people starting to get play in there and playing. I mean, the guy has only started playing football since 2019, so it's like I think there's room for improvement. Is what I guess what they're saying.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Say that.
we've covered some random news for you. We've talked about the amazing career of Clay Matthews and unfortunately how he compares to some of his peers. Not great, not terrible though. But yeah,
More interceptions than a lot of them.
More interceptions than a lot of them, dude. All right, the guy was out there doing a whole lot of stuff that they probably weren't doing. He probably wasn't rushing the passer every time like they were either. But anyway, he was rushing the passer more than Ray Lewis was. So, pick your boys. What I do want to say though, Corey, is that people should like and subscribe this content, so it makes us feel better about our lives and that we're not just speaking to the void. Although we do love talking to you, Void. You're such a good guy. You're always here to listen. It's really
Sometimes the
touching.
void speaks back.
I know. It's getting a little wild. So that's why you guys should like and subscribe. Share this with your closest friend or your enemy. Either one. We need the views.
Your closest enemy. And don't tell them which one they are. Be like, hey, dude, this video's for you. But don't tell them if you're the closest friend or the closest enemy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, keep it a secret for sure. But anyway, Sports by Copy fans, thanks for liking and subscribing and for supporting us. We're out of here.